Lost generation. It's been so long since we've had a story time, and unfortunately, the truth to my very small viewership is that people enjoy the drug experience and or story time videos. So, I'm going to tell you about a story, true story that happened to me. I was at a party with three or four of my friends. We were there till about 2 o'clock to 2:30, something like that. All my friends were drinking. I was doing other things, let's say. I wasn't drunk, but I was participating in debauchery of various forms. I don't think I need to name all the different substances and things that were affecting my mental state, but suffice it to say, I was indeed several altered states. So, naturally, being in those altered states, I was elected to be the designated driver. And we didn't even get probably a half a mile up the road before I saw a car coming towards us. And this is why I always advocate to people, you need to stay in tune with your intuition. And you need to trust your intuition. I saw this car coming straight at us, 15 miles over the speed limit at least, and I could just tell when I saw it that something bad was going to happen with it. And I was at first worried that it was just going to veer into us. But there was a Y in the road coming from his direction. And we were on one leg of that Y. And in the crook of that Y, there is a 3 to 4 foot drop into a field of tall grass. And the left leg of the Y veers slightly to the left, and the right leg branches off entirely. So you have a triangular pitfall, basically. And I see this guy going well over the speed limit, and I just knew something bad was going to happen. And indeed, when I saw him pass in the rearview mirror, I actually started to slow down before anything even ever happened. I just knew it. I just knew something was going to go wrong, and I started slowing down before it even happened. So luckily I did that, because in the rearview mirror I saw his taillights and his headlights start alternating. He went full speed into that triangular drop-off area, into the field, at full speed, and went end over end multiple times. And since I had already started slowing down, I did a U-turn. We pulled up on the side of the road, we went running out into that field, and I was the first one there. This gentleman, I don't know what he was doing. I am under the assumption that he was driving home, maybe from the bar. I don't know if he was drunk or not, but it looked like he might have been fiddling around with some drugs and missed the Y. Well, when I found him, the car was upside down, the ignition was on, and gas was leaking. The car was upside down, and gas was leaking. So anyone that's ever responded to these types of emergencies knows that that is a pretty bad scenario. A lot can go wrong with that scenario. And the first thing you do is you shut the ignition off if possible. And that's still not even a full protection, because a shorted wire or the battery terminal could short out on the car. Fuel could run onto a hot exhaust. There's a lot of things that could still go wrong. So this gentleman is in the vehicle, upside down, strapped in, and there's no way I could have got him out without potentially exacerbating any injuries he had. If he had injured his spine, his back, his neck, there's no way I could have got him out and not made the injuries far worse. I'm not even sure I could have got him out uninjured and not injured him. So I shimmied into the car and I shut the ignition off. and we proceeded to call 911. And I was a little worried because I had observed that it looked like he was either snoring or choking, and there was blood all in his mouth, so I was worried he's going to choke on his own blood. And there's not much I could really do other than keep an eye on him. So the story takes a even stranger turn when my friends are scanning the area of the wreck, and they find drugs and drug paraphernalia, which we surmise were on his lap, and he might have been going to use those drugs. And when he went end over end, they flew out the window and landed like right next to the car. So while we're waiting for the police to get there, we're finding drugs and paraphernalia. And my friends are like, what should we do? And naturally, being partying teenagers, we decided we'd go ahead and take the drugs. So first we probably saved the guy's life. He wouldn't have been discovered until the next day, until it was sunlight out, if we didn't get there. And we saved the guy's life, and then we pretty much stole his drugs. And the justification for this was, we'll steal his drugs and we're basically doing him a favor because the cops will find it and it will compound whatever happens to him anyways. And we wanted to get out of there as quick as possible, but we didn't want to just leave the guy there and not talk to the first responders. Now naturally, when you have a bunch of underage drunks and me driving someone else's car, and my mental state wasn't exactly clear, you don't want to talk to the cops. I just did a video on not talking to the cops. I make exceptions with things like this when it comes to saving other people or helping other people in these accidents, and I am in the wrong place at the right time so much in my life that I have responded to over 10 car wrecks. It's not even a joke. I've also given CPR to at least 2 to 4 people. And I've been in a lot of weird situations. So there's plenty of fodder for story times there. But the police show up, and naturally the police are a little curious on why there's a bunch of underage drunks and what we're doing. And so there I am, in this altered state, talking to this police officer, trying to convince him that everything's okay and we're good to go. Then he starts asking us if we have a burner. And, well, the term burner, to anyone that's involved in crime, has multiple connotations. One is either a cell phone you use for drug activity, and another is a gun. And so this cop's asking us if we have burners. And there was an uneasy moment where we didn't fully realize he was asking for a lighter. And eventually, he finally let us go. I never found out what happened to that guy. But guy, if you're out there, that was crazy, man. And we probably saved you a drug charge. I hope you're doing alright. I hope you're okay. I hope you've confronted your demons. I hope you didn't get injured. Lost Jen, I'm out.